Okay, dudes, welcome to heavy metal cooking, and one of the most impressive things that you can cook is bread. It's simple, it's basic, but nobody does it anymore, man. So it will really strand you out. So what you're going to do is very simple. You're going to start with a cup of water. I've warmed up in the microwave for like 30 seconds. You know, you want it warm but not too hot, kind of like a baby bottle or something, just so it seems a little warm. Now, to this cup of water, I want to add 2 teaspoons of sugar. You know, just to give the yeast something to work with. Boom, baby. And then I want to add a tablespoon of salt because I like things a little salty. Yeah. There we go. And then I want to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Yeah. Add that to water. Get all oily up in there. A little fat, makes it smoother and everything for the bread. And then 2 teaspoons of yeast. Or you can go with one of those packets of yeast if that's what you're into. But I use enough of this. I just keep a little jar of it around. There we go. Now we're going to give this concoction here a little bit of stir. I'm going to let it sit for about 10 minutes to get it all nice and bubbly as the yeast gets active and working on it. Okay, bro. See how it's all foamy now? Yeah, the yeast is activated. It's going to be real good. Now we're going to add our final ingredients to this bad boy. Okay, we're going to take ½ cup of milk. Just give it a little cream flavor to it. Adds also a little bit more fat and such like that to the mix, which is always good in bread. I know it sounds weird. You always hear about bread and carbs and everything, but you know, you need a little bit of fat in there too. And then we're going to take 3 cups of flour. Now you can get bread flour if you want, but I just use regular flour. Now, if you want to make wheat, which is pretty good too, instead of 3 cups of flour, you're going to go with 2 cups of regular flour and 1 cup of wheat flour, whole wheat flour. You want to do it at 2-to-1 ratio whenever you're doing anything whole wheat, of regular to wheat. Now you see how I dip it out and then I kind of mix it up like that, kind of shake it? That gets it a little even and make sure it's not all so compacted really well. Alright, now I want to sit here and we're going to take our wooden spoon, we're going to mix it up real nice. So we go over there, grab the camera, put it down here so you can see what it looks like. So here we got a wooden spoon on the fan. We're just going to mix it up until it forms like a dough ball, man. You know, you just want it to ball, but holding this and that at the same time is not really working out real. So I'm going to cut you off here for a minute. I want to show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, now I've rolled it around for about 5 minutes, got it all balled and mixed well. Now I'm going to take my spoon out, I'm going to cover it with a towel, and I'm just going to let it sit for an hour and let it rise. And then after it's set for an hour, then we're going to go into the kneading process. Man, you can just go do whatever you want while it's rising. I know it seems like, dude, like an hour, this takes forever. Man, it's just something you do for about 5 minutes and you walk away, come back later, you know, say you take an hour, hour and a half, it's fine, it just rise a little more. So you just walk away, do whatever, watch a game, it's cool, come back, then we'll knead our dough. Now as you can see, it's been about over an hour or so, and the dough is doubled in size, so now we're going to knead it. We're going to beat it back down into a smaller shape and just kind of play with it for a few minutes to get the gluten up or something like that. Okay, now we got our floured surface right here. Got a cutting board with some flour on. Get some flour in my hand, you know. I want to take this dough, roll on it. It's going to be a little sticky, man. It's going to stick on your hands. That's okay. That's what the flour's for. I want to sit there. I want to beat it down, man. See? Just take it, beat it, fold it over, beat it again, fold it over, beat it again. Take it, pat it. Boom. Any which direction you want, you sit there, take it, take it down, slam it down, whatever, man. You're just going to do this for a few minutes, take out anything you want on it, let it know, yeah. Now the more you knead it, the better it will be. Get it all gluten up in there. Want to beat all that carbonation out of it too. Where the yeast has been eating the sugar, and it exhales carbon dioxide, and another byproduct of the yeast process, a little bit of alcohol. Not enough in this for anything important, but it's pretty similar to beer. The only difference is the amounts of water, yeast, sugar, and flour, like grains that you use. But that's why they call beer to be liquid bread, because it pretty much is bread in a liquid form. Or this is beer in a solid form. Now we're going to not let it ferment as long as beer does, so it's not going to get alcohol in it, which sometimes you don't want. Sometimes you just want bread. There you go. We're going to beat it, keep folding it over, smashing it down, fold it over, smash it down, work that dough out. Yeah, and then I got over here the point. Got my cast iron 9x5 loaf pan. Now, here's the thing, man. I was a little pissed that it is actually 9x5. It is 8.5 inches by 4.5 inches. But hey, right? Whoever tells the correct size anymore. But I got it pre-greased with some olive oil. That way the bread won't stick to the pan so much, slide on out. A little bit of that when it's done. Now take it, and I've kneaded this bread down. Now I'm going to put it in this grease thing. I'm going to shape it out real nice. Mash it in there. And then we're going to let it sit and rise for another hour. I know it takes a long time, but what I'm going to do while this is rising, I'm going to go play a video game for a bit. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to pop this bad boy in the oven and get it working. Alright, so we're going to turn our oven, preheat it up to 425 degrees. There we go. And we're going to let it heat up. This is our bread. It's risen in our cast iron, and when it heats up, we're going to put it in the oven. Okay, now we're going to put this in the oven here for 25 minutes. Okay, so here we have it. A loaf of bread, boom, out of the oven. Now, here's one of the most important parts that you need to know. You take a stick of butter and just run it over the top of your bread. This will keep it soft and not crunchy. Just over the top like that, like Speed Stick deodorant or something. There you go. And that will do it. Voila. Bread in a cast iron loaf pan. Heavy metal.